The hero and the princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Oh, there's a lot of... End of the world, what are you talking about? Have you said that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up? Kind of bad. Can't someone else do this? Okay with the world ending. Do I get some sort of reward for doing this? I've always wanted to off of Mardik. Viva la resolution!
That's the spirit.
That's the spirit! I've always
You make
wanted to
your
off
way
a
up
monarch.
the short path
Hell
to
yeah!
the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Oh yeah.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Is that better?
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Proceed into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine
shows
blade.
on that side. I have.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Okay. Take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Why did I show up like unprepared and like not have a knife? Oh, I'm holding a knife now. Look at that little stabby cursor. Ha ha ha. What are these options? This is history. Skip. Preferences. Save? Okay, all the other stuff is on here. Okay, that's interesting. Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Hey, I think I'm here to kill you?
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Like the stars
Focus
in
on
the
the
background
task
that
at
move,
hand.
like all the elements.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
Yeah, it wasn't a joke.
I know. You brought a knife with you and everything. But you don't have to try and kill me. You could always toss that scrap of metal to the ground and give the two of us a chance to talk things out.
She makes a compelling point. What if we didn't kill her? What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Not murder, exactly.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Stab, stab, stab.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
What if she's bluffing? What if she kills us? Are you sure she's not armed? Sorry, can we just talk? I'm not dropping the blade. Drop the blade or just slay the princess. Should I just jump right to it, or should I like try and explore the story a bit? So I know that this has like hundreds of branching timelines. Like there's thousands of dialogue entries and all that kind of stuff. So many different kind of stories and endings. But like, what if she isn't bluffing?
You go into this expecting to die, you're going to die.
Hesitating? Why don't...
Okay.
You charge the princess, blade trembling in your hand, but you've already lost the battle.
Hey, why do I look like that, actually? That's
She
my hand.
casually sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her elbow.
We shouldn't have hesitated.
But she doesn't stop there. She kicks you a few times for good measure, the pointed tip of her shoes feeling like a pickaxe against your fracturing bones, making sure you stay down. As you lie, crushed and broken on the basement floor, the princess kneels on your throat with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. As you gasp for air, she eyes you with an intense curiosity. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you.
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
Move,
She
chat.
applies more pressure, slowly squeezing what's left of your life out of your lungs.
Chat.
This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
You're on a path in the woods.
Oh, and it
And
just
at the end of
restarts.
that
Okay.
path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Turn around and leave.
It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. Or she is not going to kill you and...
Oh, I missed it. Doesn't matter what he knows, there's something we can do to stop. Voice of the Broken. Okay. She's going to kill us again. Saving the world's going to be much more difficult than it has to be, because the whole time second guessing yourself.
Those are two very different questions, but fine. I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a
Ads
moment
starting in a
that this
minute.
really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
He's not wrong.
Of course we died. We couldn't land a single blow on her, and she broke every bone in our body before she decided to let us die. What were we supposed to do to stop her then? What are we supposed to do to stop her now? pointless. She's just a princess. Slaying her shouldn't have been difficult, but congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. The princess killed us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? If she ended the entire world, why should we even bother? We might as well just walk. Just because she's capable of ending the world doesn't mean you're not capable of slaying her. Both of those things can be true at the same time. So chin up. I believe in you. Just be quick about it.
I want to make sure she doesn't do it again. Quote you from last era, she's just a princess. Why would she strong enough to beat you to death with her
She
bare hands?
is just a princess. Whatever you think happened to you last time, just get it out of your head before you get to the cabin and you'll be fine. Or we could pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending that we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us.
Okay, Vice the Broken can shut
Can
the
we
fuck
tone
up.
down the pessimism just a smidge? I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic. You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. Like I said, if she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to me. Don't talk to her, don't trust her, just go in, do your job, and save the world.
Being cagey.
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail will just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. The less you know about her, the better. People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here? Who cares if you think we're special? As far as I can...
I no longer care about Voice the
Great.
Broken.
Now, if you don't mind... A warning. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Lying? Cheating? Why would she even... She caught us off guard last time. At least one of you still has a shred of sense. Just make sure you listen to him and not that whiner. If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here. The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Oh, the interior is different.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so small? We don't feel small. We are small. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that. That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the... There's death. There isn't. Who cares if there's a mirror? For the last time, you're not going to die unless you let it happen. And though, for what it's worth, if there were a mirror, I'm sure that you wouldn't... Probably. He knows. You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. This really isn't You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen. You take the blade from the altar. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease. This is actually kind of nice. It's still a stone basement. If the princess... Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
Okay, we're just gonna kill the princess
You weren't
this time.
kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall. The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You've brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity. Drop it.
Yeah. No, we're gonna kill her this
As
time.
if on command, the blade slips from your grasp. It clatters uselessly to the floor, but we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade. Of course we dropped it. Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better...
Kneel. Oh, are you still trying to defy me? I said kneel.
Your legs buckle, and your knees hit the floor.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you couldn't even scratch me. And yet here you are again, trying to succeed where you've already catastrophically failed. What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death? Speak.
The last time we met? I suppose that lends credence to our conversation in the woods. Still, whatever you do, don't tell her why you're here. It's best not to give her any ideas. You weak-willed buffoon.
Yeah.
Is that so?
The princess closes her eyes in contemplation.
Something about that thought wraps itself around my heart. It feels like a fundamental truth to my being that I'd somehow forgotten. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new, and the world as it is now is overdue for alterations. It's time for me to seize my destiny, and you, little bird, will help me seize it.
She's inevitable. There's nothing.
Know the limits of your privilege, little bird. There's an empty place at my side for you to fill, if you'll have it. But it is not a place for an equal. It is a place for something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
I can't just let you do that.
I say, perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters. Pick up that needle.
Do it. It's what she wants. No objections here. I don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but we might as well pick up the blade. As your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but that manages to push you towards its desires like an unseen puppeteer. You reach forward and grasp the blade.
Stand.
This one's easy. Okay, yeah.
All the other commands that we can't
You can feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all silences are broken eventually.
To define me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet shadow, while I am brilliant radiance. Take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
What? You don't have to listen to her. You're armed. Just steel your nerves, step forward, and end this.
I don't like the subtitle just says end this. Like, what am I gonna kill? I'm probably gonna kill myself, right? I assume that's what's gonna happen.
Oh, we'll end this all right. Your hand lifts the blade and brings it towards your throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear language. End her.
Slay the princess.
Your body is sluggish and unresponsive, actively fighting against you, but you do your best to stagger forward. One step at a time, you move towards the princess.
Slitting your throat would have been a mercy, but it seems you're in need of a harsher lesson. Plunge that knife into your lungs.
I'm sorry. Don't. As you take another step forward, the blade digs into your ribs, slicing through flesh with ease. It somehow feels like an entirely natural thing to do, while the simple act of walking has become an arduous impossibility. Then it slides back out.
Oh, the knife
wound
on the cursor
burning
has
as a
blood on
small
it.
hiss of air escapes through the fresh orifice. Blood fills your lungs.
Now, do it again. Keep doing it until I give you permission to stop.
It's what she wants.
Just words, you don't have to listen to her yet.
You, heroic one, what are you doing? Don't just let this happen. Stop him from killing you. I'm on it. Your other hand locks around your wrist, struggling to keep it from perforating vital organs. But the blade still flails towards you, managing to slice bits of skin that plop to the floor to join the growing pile of blood and gore beneath you. Despite the pain, you manage to keep yourself in one piece, at least for now.
What a pitiful display. A wounded little bird thinking it can defy a god. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to hurt so much. You can choose a gentle end. You can choose to leave that punctured vessel for the next.
Alright, yeah. I'm done with this.
No, you can't just give in to her, not when the stakes are so high. Your body and its renegade hand freeze in place until you get a hold of yourself.
It's pointless to...
You're shaking. And everything's submits to oblivion.
But you're not the one resisting me, are you? There's something else in there. Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now. An echo.
Is she talking about you? That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you? A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
No. What are you talking about? I
don't care what you are. You're mine.
You bring the blade to your neck. You slice through soft flesh, severing veins and arteries. Your blood flowing freely down your body. It's a painful lesson in obedience, but the pain won't last forever. No.
Free me from my chains and deliver me to the destiny that lies beyond this place.
We will. I promise.
I know you will.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
Well.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path... Oh, let me guess. And at the end of the path is a cabin!
Contrarian.
Excuse me? Come on, man. We can see it right in front of us. And besides, we've been here like, 5 times already? I think this is 3. Who cares? The woods are always the worst part anyway. Nothing ever happens in them. I care. Every single time you've been here, it means an entire other reality has been damned to oblivion. One reality is already an incalculable loss. And there is a massive difference between 3 and 5. Feels like the numbers getting thrown around here are too big not to be abstract. Numbers like 5. Numbers like entire realities. At the end of the day, it's all just silly, isn't it? None of us can count to a whole reality, and he's asking us to think about the difference between 3 and 5. You're already starting to lose the thread. Just because you can't personally sum up the contents of an entire reality doesn't mean that the people inhabiting it don't contain moral value. If you have any sense of ethics left in there, if you have any moral compass, please, you have to stop her. Don't you get it? Might makes right, and she didn't even have to touch us last time to prove her power. So what? Just because she made us kill ourselves, we're supposed to submit to her authority without question?
Try listening to the princess this time.
To surrender to our better. You would have lost eventually anyway, and it would only have made her angry. It would only have made things worse for all of us. Oh, for the love of... Can you all please just get on with... Do we even have agency right now? We either do what she wants, or we do what he wants. Either way, we're listening to somebody. Please, nothing in life is a binary. Obviously, we find a third choice that nobody wants. You all talk about choices and freedom, but there is no choice when it comes to the will of a god. I'm going to cut you off right there. She is not a god, and the more times you fail, the harder it becomes for you to succeed. But the fact that you're still here means you still have a chance to pull this off. So, princess, dangerous, cabin, slay, now.
The third option that nobody wants.
But a great and horrible change is already underway. The ground quakes beneath your feet, and you feel an unyielding force pulling at you and your surroundings. The trees start to sway, then crumble, breaking apart as everything is drawn towards the cabin. Even the earth beneath you seems to shift, your feet unable to grip solid ground as you're dragged forward along with everything else.
The end of everything. The beginning of something new. The moment we open that door, she will be free.
Any, words of warning? You already know everything you need to know. As you step forward, the cabin explodes. You're flung backwards, violently slamming into a tree as debris rains down around you.
Giant woman!
In paralyzed awe and terror as the princess emerges, her body unfurling from some vast space as she stands upright to face you. The world bows to her. The ruined landscape shifts, trees and stone and the ground itself succumbing to her gravity, orbiting her like a great black hole.
Giant woman!
Finally, the little bird has set me free. This is always how it was going to end. And this is always how it was going to begin.
There's a loud thunk from the tree behind you as something embeds in its shattered bark. Your pristine blade. It's now or never.
You see something about a third option earlier?
I don't know, I'm at a loss. What if we run away again? I'm sure it'll work this time. To where? Anywhere.
You're all ruining the moment of her ascension. Have you no respect for the divine?
Nope. Flee.
A coward to your core, you turn to flee, leaping from the piece of floating debris and into the empty space beyond where the woods used to be. This isn't cowardice, this is a calculated move.
Exactly.
Sure it is. Can it be a bit of both? You'd be lying if I said I wasn't just a little afraid of her.
Are you so awestruck by my glory that you cannot bear to look at me? I think not.
As you fall, a great force pulls at the back of your neck, violently yanking you away from whatever lack of destination you were headed towards.
Now, witness me!
Yes, Your Grace.
She turns you to face her. The scruff of your neck is held firmly between two giant fingers. So much for running away.
I forgive you your transgressions, but my destiny is inescapable.
She's right, we don't even have a weapon. It's over, isn't it?
And yet she still extends her mercy. We should do as she says. Why are you all resisting in the first place?
So much for spiting her. Spiting him it is.
Good. I can feel your heart opening to mine.
Her words are like a gentle tug, drawing you closer to the mountain of her body. You land softly on her shoulder. Her skin is warm and comforting. This really is the end. Is it the end? We're still here.
The night sky unweaves into a textured nothingness. He does not respond.
Everything is gone. Us and her. This is her power. This is where we're meant to be.
He's really gone. That's unexpected. But he would have said something by now if he were still here. Right? Yeah. Never knew when to shut up, that one. It's part of why I liked him so much. I can't believe all it took to make him disappear was saying no once. What happens now?
This world is but an illusion, keeping us from my ascension. A play of shadows dancing on the wall.
Princess reaches forward into the textured nothing and buries her fingers in its divine flesh. Her touch is soft.
The flame may be snuffed, but the wall remains. This isn't just for my glory. You are a part of this now.
See? This is nice. We're safe. She's helping us. She's helping everyone.
Her grip tightens, and somehow you feel it. The pain sits at the limits of your comprehension, like an endless sea of hands falling on you one after another, before finally collapsing in on themselves. You lose yourself in the darkness. You're hurting me.
It will be over soon, little bird. And then your eyes will open, and all of this pain will seem but the fading memory of a distant dream.
Soon? Soon? Does that mean there's gonna be more? My only comfort is that he isn't here to see us suffer. He would love that, wouldn't he?
Oh, the curse had changed. The textured nothing is ripped open, and with it you are ripped open amidst a sea of dissociative pain. You feel everything that is you pouring out into the ether. You feel something else too, anger. You need to lash out and hurt that which is hurting you.
Yes. Hurt her. Do something, anything, to make it stop.
No. If suffering is what she demands of us, suffering is what we'll give. Why would I doubt our God?
It is so tempting to see what's on the other side of that great big nothing, but I think I'm gonna lose myself if this goes on for much longer. Why do we have to be the ones going through all this pain while she gets all the benefits?
Blasphemer. We have been given the gift of offering ourselves to a higher purpose, and you spit in its face.
You are a wave of tendrils racing against themselves and down the shape of an arm. You snap around it. Relief, as a massive burden is lifted from you. You are in one piece. You are in your body. Your eyes open. Before you is the massive form of the princess, arms bound by the textured nothing. Behind her, a hole in the world leading to something beyond. Something beautiful.
I knew it! That old windbag was hiding all kinds of secrets from us. There's a whole world out there. I don't know what to say. It's just so beautiful.
Doesn't the mere sight make all the misery worth it?
It's not all that.
What did you do to me? I was supposed to be perfect. I was supposed to be a god. I was all of those things. And now I'm not. All because of you.
She looks up with futile sorrow at the something beautiful that sits beyond.
We could have had everything. If only you had given me a little more, we could have been free on the wings of my glory. Now we're stuck here. Forever.
I, for one, am perfectly happy to be stuck here forever. It's more than worth it if that's the price we paid for taking her down a peg.
The hole mends shut. As it closes, the tendrils lose their grip, freeing the princess as they retreat.
It's gone. No, how do we get it back? Can we try again? We'll suffer so much better if we get to try again, I promise.
Shut up, Broken.
It's so cold here. If this wasn't enough, then what is?
But you don't get the opportunity to try again. Something has taken her away, and it's left something else in her place. Alright, let's roll that back, shall we?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. Unfortunately, you're the only one who can pull this off. I don't make the rules. I wish I did, but I don't. Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
He makes a great point.
Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short
Alright, we're gonna go
path to the
straight-laced.
cabin.
We're just gonna walk
You'll
right up
find
to
the
her.
princess within.
We're gonna follow the direct instructions, and we're just gonna kill her.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare.
Going to
The
work with
air
her to
is
say hi.
stale
Hello,
and musty,
Harper. Have a
and
good
the
day at
floor
work.
and walls are painted
Yes,
in a
I saw
fine
this
layer
in
of
our
dust.
library.
The only
and,
furniture of note
I
is a
guess the
plain
new
wooden
version
table.
released today.
Perched on that
The
table is a
what is
pristine
it? The
blade.
pristine cut.
The blade is your
It
implement.
just got launched
You'll need
today.
it if you want to
and
do
so
this
I had
right.
the update in Steam, so I was like, I guess I'll play this. I've played it before.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. Good. You're still listening to reason.
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna listen to reason. We're gonna go, we're gonna slay the princess.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this. You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh. This is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die. Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over? It's over. Don't get all worked up. We should make sure. What's the harm in checking for a pulse? I really don't think you should do that. And why shouldn't we? Is there something you're not telling us? I've told you everything that's happened with complete accuracy. The princess is dead. Your blade pierced her heart. There's no coming back from that. Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. What happened? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry, You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy.
Kinda hoping I get a better ending for saving
This
the world.
isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the past. No. This is the beginning of eternity. Your reward. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier. Psst. Hey. We're not just gonna stay here forever, right? I do, but you're probably not going to like it. The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this. I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero. He's right. It's the only way out. Do you hear that? It wants to take
I
this
was like 10
happiness
minutes
away
ago,
from
Morgan,
you.
he's gone.
It wants this wonderful place to end. Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it. Don't you dare. How astute. You are absolutely correct. Using the blade to kill yourself would kill you, and you shouldn't do it. In a sense, we die, but looking at things from another angle, are we even really alive anymore? This place, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. It's just the same thing, constantly, forever. I know this is out there, but trust me, I know using the blade will work. That little voice didn't want you to slay the princess. It didn't want you to be happy. If we die, you can yell at me all you want. I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world? An eternity of bliss? You ingrate? Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs. The princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it. You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die. The end. Nice knowing you.
The Spectre.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path, you're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We've just met for the first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Well, if for whatever reason you're going to insist that this has happened before... Those are two very different questions. Let's say for a moment, if you're back here, I'm assuming... Oh, we listened to you plenty. We slew the princess just like you asked us to, and then you locked us away in an empty void for eternity. So we slew ourselves too. Well, if you killed yourself, then you weren't listening to me, because I would never want you to do that. Believe it or not, I care about you. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, what do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We slew the princess, the world outside the cabin disappeared, we died, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back. Had you failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to... It doesn't matter, because we didn't fail to slay her. And if she's really back, which I doubt, it'll be just as easy to do it again. But after that nasty trick you pulled on us, maybe she's not the only one around here in need of slaying. Just stay focused, will you? Just be quick about it. That's a good point. How do we know we didn't have things backwards? Maybe slaying the princess was what ended the world, not the other way round. Yes, maybe this whole thing was a trick to get us to end the world. And now we get to go through the whole charade again, wholly aware of what's waiting for us at the end. But that's assuming she's alive in that cabin. We did kill her, after all. You're going to find her in the cabin. If the princess had actually been slain, you wouldn't be here. And well, that's exactly what we're afraid of. Really? Living happily ever after sounds that bad to you? Oh well, there's no use arguing over your masochism. The cabin awaits. Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin. A warning. She will lie. She won't be a problem. The interior of the cabin is cold, a soft odor of dirt permeating the air. Cobwebs flutter in the corners. You can hear wind whistling outside, banging the shutters against the windows. The only furniture of note is an elegant antique table with a pristine blade perched on the edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. It feels like no one's been here for a long, long time. Like I've been saying, she's dead. We killed her already. You walk up to the wall next to the bait. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cap, but there was a mirror, and now it's gone. Let's not spend much longer worrying over it. Clearly, it's not even important. You take the blade from the table. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. The door to the basement groans open, revealing an old banister and a creaky wooden stairwell. Everything is coated in a thick layer of dust, and you can feel it settle into your lungs as you breathe in the stale air. The very building itself feels dead. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. The room below is silent. Nobody's here, naturally. As much as I appreciate the optimism, you shouldn't be so sure. I guess we'll just have to go down and see. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body, lying in a heap on the floor, its wrist still bound to the wall by a thick chain. Okay, she's definitely dead. It's just like I told you. Before you have a chance to finish your thought, the top of a head appears from underneath the floor.
Oh, hello.
Two deep-set eyes stare up at you, followed by a mischievous, skeletal grin. And finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the head. Wait, this isn't right. What's going on here? Ghost! Oh, wow. How absolutely terrifying. What's a ghost supposed to do to us?
Oh, it's you. Hiya, Killer. I was hoping to see you again. I have some issues with how our last meeting went.
The princess drifts across the room into your orbit, gently running her fingers across your shoulders and down your neck as she circles you. Her touch is cold and ethereal, formless yet real enough that her icy fingertips send shivers dancing across your skin. So she has a body, and she's right there. That means we could kill her again, if we wanted to.
Let's wait and see how things play out. I'm liking this princess is not so immediately hostile.
I see you brought that annoying knife again. So, are you waiting for a chance to use it? Or are you here for something else?
Oh god, there's so many dialogue options. Holy fuck. Okay. Oh my god, Jesus. There's so many dialogue options. Exactly what I was trying to tell you about in the woods. This already happened when we killed her. What are you doing not being dead? Do you know why you came back? Something the victim, you threatened me. Sorry, I killed you. I shouldn't have done that. You want me to die? You want me to kill myself to satisfy some sort of sick revenge fantasy? I already did that and it wouldn't be hard to do it again. So anyway, I can make it up to you. The people who wanted you dead tricked me. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. What do you want from me? I knew I'd wind up having to talk to you again. I would have slain you. I died too, and I'm not floating around like you are. What happened? Why am I different? Why are you different? That might be the best one so far. You're dead, or at least mostly dead when you hurt me. After I kill you, this cabin. I want to say it teleported. It wasn't in the woods anymore. Time stopped meaning anything, and I had to kill myself to escape. Guess I should tell you why I said to kill you right now. No, I'm not gonna say that. You're in the world. Okay, clearly this thing isn't gonna work. What do you want? Casey, I'm out of ideas. Thoughts? I like these two. If I knew I'd wind up having to talk to you again, I would have slain you. What happened? Why am I different? Why are you different? Or okay, team, I'm out of ideas.
You don't look dead, Killer.
The princess grabs your wrist, a sudden shock of cold flowing all the way up your arm, her eyes still fixed on yours as you try to squirm out of her grip.
And you don't feel dead either.
She lets go and pulls away. Your fingertips tingle painfully as the chill subsides.
I'm less interested in why you are, or how you are, and a lot more interested in what you are. I've tried to leave on my own. Before you came back to me, I explored every inch of this place, even the spaces between the walls. But I never found a way out. I always wound up right back here. I just want to go home. I'm so cold and alone here. But you can come and go as you please, can't you? So, let me hitch a ride. After all, you own me.
Ah, there it is.
Absolutely not. Is she asking if she can possess us? She is. And I hope I don't need to explain why you can't let that happen. It would be catastrophic if she managed to escape this place. And if you let her in, there is very little anyone could do to stop her. Would she be able to see us if we went along with it? Now, isn't that an interesting thought? We could finally bring her face to face with him. I wonder what she would have to say to the one who wants her dead so badly. You won't like how things play out if you go down this path.
Take your time. I know it's a lot to think about, but I'm very good at waiting. And if I knew you were going to murder me without even knowing who I was, I wouldn't have given you the chance.
We all make mistakes.
How should I know? Why does anyone come back? Maybe I have unfinished business with you. Or maybe you have unfinished business with me. All I know is there's a hole in my chest. Not the big obvious one that you put there. There's something older and deeper.
This game kind of goes
I'm
like
nagging
super deep. I
reminded
love it
that
so
I'm not
far.
where I'm supposed to be. You poor thing. That must have been so frightening for you.
You know, after everything we've been through, it's nice to see someone finally sympathising with us. This whole thing's been an ordeal, hasn't it? She doesn't mean it.
It serves you right.
I was pretty scared too, when you stood there not saying a word with a knife clenched in your fist. But now you know how bad it hurts to get stabbed in the chest.
It sounds like you got exactly what you were owed.
Too little, too late. But you can still make things right.
She's not in a position to bargain with us. You don't have to do anything you don't want to. We don't have to do anything, but maybe we should. We did kill her. Wouldn't it be the moral thing to help her now that we have another chance?
The narrator.
When a hero slays a monster, does he apologise to it?
I was gonna say the narrator's
No. So don't try to make things right. She was going to end the world. You didn't do anything wrong, aside from apparently killing yourself, and that doesn't have much to do with her. We could always try violence. It's worked for us so far. She's a ghost. Who says ghosts are immune to violence? Common sense? There's nothing common or sensible about common sense. Action and observation are the only things that matter. Fine. Then let me observe that the acts of killing her and killing ourselves haven't got us much of anywhere. We're still back in this cabin, we're still dealing with her, only now she has a good reason to hate us. I suppose you have a point. Do you have any ideas then? I don't know. Maybe we do what she wants. Maybe we let her possess us and walk out of here. We could. It would be something different.
I like it.
I like different. Absolutely not. If you walk her out of here, she's going to end the world. Is that really so bad? Yes, it is by its very definition bad. But those are the only options, aren't they? Violence or doing what she wants. Or just leaving her down here. Though ignoring a problem is rarely a solution, is it?
before I agree to anything.
And what? You just believed that? You killed me without giving it any thought? That's cold.
That's rich coming from her. Every time she touches us, it's like we freeze over. She's right, though, but that's neither here nor there. What's done is done. What we do from this point forward is all that matters. Let's try not to let emotion get the better of it.
I'm gonna run to the washroom before I choose another option, so I will be right back. Okay, I am back. What are we thinking? Are we gonna let her possess us? Like, that kind of seems like the best option here. You didn't answer my question. Do you want to end the world?
The only thing I've ever wanted was to leave this place. It's still the only thing I want.
Even if you don't want to end it, does letting you out of here mean the world's going
It
to end?
does. We're not asking you. We've heard your whole speech already.
I really don't know. I'm not lying to you. I promise. The world doesn't matter. All I remember is that I'm supposed to be there, not here. I'm just supposed to be a part of it. It's home, I think. But what does it mean for anything to end? I ended, but I also didn't. And you ended too. But here you are. And you don't even look any different. I'm not so sure endings are real.
She makes a valid point.
I don't know. I just wanted to leave. I still just want to leave. I don't know. Maybe I'll just fade away. Finally able to rest once I'm free from my unfinished business. Maybe I'll find someone to haunt. Maybe I'll haunt you. It's a tough question, asking someone what she's going to do with her life.
The princess leans in close and pauses, the frigid air between you stale and unmoving.
Especially when that someone is dead.
She pulls back with a playful giggle.
I don't think most living people could answer that either. Does anyone actually know who they are or what they want?
All right, let's let her possess us. Let's see how bad this shit can get. We're gonna let her possess us.
The princess swims through the air in front of you, pausing for a brief moment as her dark-rimmed eyes stare deeply into yours. There's a hunger in her gaze.
You're really trying to make it up to me, aren't you? Thanks for being a pal, killer. I mean it.
What are you doing? Don't just let her in. How many times do I have to tell you?
See you soon.
She rushes forward and then she's gone. A sharp chill spreads across your body. It starts in your chest, a freezing numbness flowing out from your heart, all the way down your limbs, your mind growing cloudy and confused as it settles over your very soul. I'm not sure I like this. Can we get a do-over? I'm afraid it's too late to stop now. The numbness gives way to a stabbing pain, your muscles twitching and convulsing violently, each involuntary movement causing more waves of agony to ripple across your body. You collapse to the floor, and everything goes dark.
Come on, you. You've got to get up. I know everything feels heavy right now, but we still have to get out of here.
Your eyes flick back open as you get your bearings, your vision swimming as...
So this is what it's like to be you, huh? Disembodied voice narrating your every move?
So, it doesn't work like that for you? Clearly it doesn't, or she wouldn't have commented on it.
All these shards of broken glass on the floor, are they also supposed to be you?
Hey, I'm not a shard of broken glass, I'm...
It's okay. You can finish your thought.
I'm a voice? I'm me, is what I am. Who cares what we are? We exist. That's all that matters.
You don't have to fight. We'll all be out of here soon.
No, it matters. What we are matters. If I'm a shard of broken glass, then that raises some questions about certain other voices in here too. I'm clearly the same thing you are.
They're not listening to me. Do they not listen to you either?
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about him. You don't need to know what I am. You just need to know that I'm different from you.
More
important.
So, you're the one who pulled the strings and made me dead. I can tell you don't belong here. You're barely even there. Like the shape of something left behind. You're more of a memory than a person.
That's rude.
You're kind of like me, actually.
I'm just going to ignore her. You push yourself off the ground. The princess is nowhere to be seen. Obviously, she's nowhere to be seen.
Because I'm in here with all of you. Everybody knows that.
I'm setting the stage. The room is empty because you made a spiteful, idiotic, and all-round foolish decision.
You don't have to let him get to you. You're better than that. You're starting to make things right.
This is infuriating. Just whatever you do, you can't leave this place.
I
It's
like
not
the
too
foggy
late
vision.
to fix this. Probably.
It's okay. We're almost out of here. Just take it one step at a time and everything will be fine.
Everything won't be fine if you listen to her. One way or another, this is all going to end. Wouldn't it be nice if he ends with it?
Everybody just
Wouldn't that be
equally
nice?
hates the fucking
There's
narrator.
only one
It's
way to
so
find
funny.
out.
Everybody just hates the narrator.
Your legs, weary with the weight of the princess's spectral form and clumsy with the cold that still pervades them, stumble towards the stairs.
I'm just trying to get home. You don't have to act like it's the end of the world.
But that's exactly what you leaving this place is going to be.
You don't know that.
I do. Wait, if she has a home to go back to, doesn't that mean that her leaving won't end the world? It doesn't mean that at all. It could mean that wherever her home is, it's outside of the world. Yeah, but it has to be somewhere, doesn't it? And if it's somewhere, then it's part of the world. I suppose it's all a matter of perspective. Where does the world end and something else begin? Does the destruction of one open a door to another? Or is it the same world reborn? Against the backdrop of the inane conjecture of meaningless little voices, your body continues its ascent up the stairs, staggering through the open door. For how much you hate her, you aren't doing a whole lot to stop us from leaving this place.
Maybe the bossy one doesn't actually hate me. Maybe he even likes me. Or maybe he just knows that he's been in the wrong. Maybe he's trying to make amends too.
Not at all. I'll have you know that I do hate you, and I will continue to hate you for as long as I am able. It's just the weight of it all. It's too much for me to do anything other than describe and dictate. And whine. This body wasn't made to hold you and the princess. If you want to renege on your cataclysmically terrible decision a minute ago, well, you're the only one that can make that happen. You continue slowly to the door, your feet like lead dragging across the floorboards, growing heavier with each step.
We're so close. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If we get out of here, I won't even care that you murdered me anymore.
You lift your shaking hand and rest it on the door handle, but you pause before you open it, exhaustion sapping what's left of your will. Was exhaustion really the best you could muster up? It's over. There's no use stalling. Let's see what happens next.
Open the door.
Shit. But exhaustion wasn't enough, was it? The handle clicks as you twist it, and then the door groans open. You collapse to the ground, you and the princess, free from the confines of the cabin. As you exhale from the effort, you look up and see... yes?
Nothing. He's gone, and so is everything else.
So we did slay him after all. He had it coming. I suppose. But what about us? Are we just stuck here in nowhere forever? Did taking her out of the cabin really end the world? We're still here. Yeah, but that thing you said earlier, are we not part of the world anymore? Are we in some world that exists after the world ends, or on top of the other world but not in it, or have we never been part of the world?
Okay, I've heard enough from these two. Let's see if I can pop out.
Feel a lightness in your chest as a pair of sunken eyes emerge from your body and stare up at you.
Anna, you actually freed me, didn't you? I'm outside. Thanks for giving me a second chance, Killer.
Don't mention it.
I think this is where I meant to be.
Okay, this is exactly what happened last time before my game crashed. So let's see what happens. You don't get the chance
She's
to respond.
gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now? There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should. Ignore him. You have to look. I'm begging you, don't do this. It's different now. It feels, I don't know, final.
You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. You are alone in a place that is empty. It's quiet here. Proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin. Approach her.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
Let her out of there.
I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me.
Oh!
I promise that it doesn't hurt.
Hello, Imagine. Thank you. Thank you for the random 5 subs out of nowhere. Much appreciated. Why, thank you. If anyone in chat received a sub, be sure to thank them. It's like, dang, thank you. Based Imagine. Glad to thank you. Much appreciated. Anyways, what did she say?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
Is this the end of the world?
How can the world have ended if we are talking? I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you? I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks. You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us. Yes. Nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond. Perspectives to make my own. This one is vaporous. She is a dream of a life she could never have, but that longing has given her so much capacity for kindness. She will make for a yearning heart. Do not mourn her. She will finally be able to hold what she never knew. I know only that they are. Nothing as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom. You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold. How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated. Everything, until we meet again. More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home. I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
Okay, make me forget.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Everything goes dark and you die.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path
I just got an
is a
achievement that
cabin,
says the real Slay This Princess
and in
starts
the
here.
basement
You'll
of
know
that
it when you
cabin
see it.
is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Note, you can skip previously seen dialogue by hitting tab on your keyboard or on when you're sure. Okay, so when my game crashed earlier, it didn't save that I did all that. Okay.
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it. I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and... It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward.
Go to the cabin, I'll talk to her. If she's better than she say, then maybe I'll slay her. Not commit anything until I've had a chance
Then
to
I
meet
guess
face
we'll
to
just
face.
have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared, then each and every one of us. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out. You make your way up. We're not going to go ignore him. He doesn't...
What if I don't take the blade?
Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Please, come
Let's
downstairs.
just go hear her out. Let's go hear her out.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Fuck it.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake.
Fucking probably, but let's go.
You're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Okay. I'll be here. Look.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs... Is someone else here? You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the
Okay,
determination of a trapped wolf.
that escalated quickly.
As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like
I've
what
never played
happens
this game
if you
before,
do
imagine.
that.
Save the princess.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive. The blade. Move the blade. As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her blade work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. Terrible sense of deja vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it.
Wait, of the smitten.
Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works. We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek.
Okay, but like I feel that.
What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving. A warning. She will lie, she will cheat. We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in. I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice. I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed. Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet.
See, this is
Don't
where I
get
would
their
usually
bickering
say,
in
like,
mind.
some thoughts are inside
Focus
thoughts,
on
but
the
these are my
task
inside
ahead.
thoughts. I'm stuck with this.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You walk up to the wall next. What are you talking about? You reach forward and rub your hand against the cap. There was. And now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place, and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
Do we take the blade? Or do we just note it? We're gonna do bladeless run. We're doing a bladeless run. Save the princess.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight. But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice, it's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already. I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes
She's wearing a
with the
different
princess.
dress now. She got
There's a
different
heavy
crown.
chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
I like how like every scenario has like a slightly
My
different
love,
setting.
we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment.
You know she can't hear you, right?
She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit.
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing.
Aw, she
And
thinks
she
we're
called us a
dashing.
hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it?
Yes.
Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before. That's right, villain, and you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty. And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but What's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. We damned a whole world, but everything reset. Nothing resets, you're just somewhere else. And you can't keep hopping between worlds forever, especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. This is horrible.
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done. What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird? She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel. No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behavior and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
You died, and now we're talking. I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips. Are you listening to her? That's a confession. At least you're being honest. I can't believe that the fate of the entire world has been left in the hands of a nihilist. The princess shifts in uncomfortable confusion.
Me too. I don't care.
She wasn't confused for long. If she doesn't care, then clearly she didn't end the world. It would take a great desire for evil to do something so inconceivable, and our dearest has not an ounce of cruelty within her. All is well, and it's high time we rescued our beloved.
Rescue the princess.
No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? I would if you had a weapon. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought. You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings, and doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it, but I guess I have to. I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back, and everyone out there would be saved. Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
This guy's so funny.
What do we do now?
Let me guess. End the world? spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection. And then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do? That sounds perfect.
The princess takes your hand, the last hopes of the entire world slipping through your fingers as they intertwine with hers. We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending. I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it. I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with. You and the princess walk up the stairs hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this. And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks. That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair! We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love. Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her. Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you have ever known. Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice.
No, but it's funny.
I'm just along for the ride at this point.
Yeah, same, hero, same.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Like a pair of teenagers in love, you and the princess place your hands on the door together. Blech. And the lock clicks and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me? I told you our love was insurmountable. You and the princess make your way upstairs, and the blade, that's right, there's still a chance for you to do the right thing. Take the blade from the table and slay her before it's too late.
You're not doing that.
You're enjoying this, aren't you? You're taking every opportunity you can to draw out the end of the world and make me suffer.
Yes, I am.
I hate you. You know, if her walking out that door is really going to end the world, can't we all just stay here? Seems like an easy win for everyone. That's not how this works. Yes, what he said. That's not how this works. Obviously, we have to leave with her. It's our happy ending. Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin. And then you step outside. Our happy ending at last.
We did it! What should we do now?
Where did everything go? Where did he go? Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too busy staring deep into our beloved's eyes.
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a princess.
You'll get the chance to make that jacket, nor will you ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now? But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. Yes, I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt, right?
See, on the other side, it's going to be okay.
Okay. If you say so, we'll trust you. She'll be there waiting for us. I just know it.
Technically true. Technically true. Okay, I'm getting the hang of this now. They're gone once again. Mirror always makes them leave. You need to see what's in it. The bloat. You've grown. In the long quiet once again.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
Do you have any thoughts on this vessel?
This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle heart. Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose. Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread. Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me. Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy is in seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets. Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward. My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the ways I wish to grow, for I have yet to feel them. It is you who guides me down the thin trail of perspective and memory. long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Everything goes dark and you die. Next run! A gentle heart, bring the damsel to her.
You're on a path. You're here to sleep.
Alright, what kind of thing should we do next?
You make.
Let's take the blade and
You
then
take the
talk
blade.
to her.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Let's be funny about it.
That isn't a good idea. Just drop the knife, and maybe the two of us can talk things out.
She's right, we shouldn't. We should just drop the blade. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. But killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us. The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
We'll be fine.
I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
I know. I just said that. Now why are you here to kill me?
Believe me.
And do you think asking me what to believe is going to suddenly make everything crystal clear? Let's not pretend that's going to happen. As far as you're concerned, and as far as they're concerned, I'm going to say whatever I have to get out of here. That's just the dynamic of our situation.
One sec, I just got a message from... Cyberpunk update to Balatro. That's so funny. And Binding of Isaac, okay. And Slay the Spire update added. Let's go. And Stardew. Okay, that's cool. That's cool as fuck. Anyways, sorry. A bit distracted.
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
Sooner or later, you'll understand that I have your best interests at heart. Hopefully sooner.
How sweet. Now be a pal and help me get out of here, would you? We could figure out how to deal with them after I'm free.
You walk up to the chains binding the They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine.
I'm guessing you don't have the...
Maybe it's somewhere up doubtful. Whoever...
Well, you do have that big, sharp knife. You could always cut me out of here.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement. Is someone else here? You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. Easier for her, easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
It's the same lines, but the tone
knife.
of voice.
Pick it up and cut me out of here.
It's crazy. Anyways, an ad is
You
about
won't
to start,
like
so
what happens if you do that.
just keep that in mind. There's an ad starting. We're gonna save her.
Against your better judgment,
Now she
you
doesn't
place
have blood
the
on her
blade
face.
against the princess's arm, just above the mouth. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes as the princess of... Wait, this isn't... Watch me. Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink. Stop it. The blade. Move.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease.
Well, it's a lot better than her stabbing me to death over
Her
and
face
over.
remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark. You're on a path in the... You're here. She will lie. Yeah. Did you just say wink? No, I didn't. Wink.
Voice of the skeptic. Well, what you said, just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to.
Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
Watching in the background of this game looks fucked right up. Yeah, it is. But it's actually been, like, super interesting that, like, everything's the same, but it's all just so slightly different. Like, this is almost very similar to the last route I did, except this time I started with the knife, and then decided to free her, and it was pretty much exactly the same thing, except, like, her tone of voice and her inflection. Like, she wasn't immediately in love with me, but all the same actions happened. I still did cut her arm off. It's so interesting. Let's see how the cabin looks this time. Every time you get to the second level, every time the cabin looks different.
The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your You take the blade from the tape. Good idea. Much better to be armed.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks
Yeah, so
open,
this looks
revealing
exactly
an
the
old
same
stone
as the last
staircase.
time, except it's not
A
lavish.
few sputtering
It's the same
torches
stone
attempt
stairs
to
and walls,
vaguely
except it's not
illuminate your
lavish.
path,
It's bare
dancing
bones.
across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice, harsh but...
Is that a visitor I hear?
I wonder what visitors she could be referring to. Were we not the first? You walk down the stairs
wow.
and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck
I don't
clanking
know how I can
loudly
help
as
you
she
out of this,
moves.
lady.
The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease. You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me? Yes, your intentions. There isn't a keyhole in these shackles, so I'm afraid my only way out is surgical removal.
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her neck? Or does she think she'd survive a beheading? You're right. Maybe unless she really could survive.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests. Oh? Are we acknowledging that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But yeah, I remember.
So you've already been here. As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. This has complicated things. It's complicated. Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the situation right now, where you're getting a contingent for you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder. If you knew this could happen, why didn't you tell us? All of this. I needed you to be in the dark for as long as I could keep you there. And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't. That's I never said I wasn't. I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be. Exactly. He gets it. You're lucky. So don't. Moving on. Why is. The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Your success hinges on you having imperfect information.
I won't.
Just give it a rest, this isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming. No. Like I trust you to come any closer with that knife. All you're going to do is hand it to me and watch me work.
But she would have to cut her head off, right? She can't be suggesting that.
She certainly seems confident. Maybe she knows something we don't.
Or maybe you should consider the most likely scenario. She's bluffing so she can disarm you.
Though if she isn't bluffing, whatever she has planned might be for her benefit.
So,
I don't know. I'm just spelling out.
then let me help you. I'll start with the cons. If you're handing her your weapon, the cons are... That doesn't sound... There are none.
The pros are that we can't trust him. Possibly even more than we can't trust her. Whatever she has planned.
I don't know, but you could always try it on. Maybe it'll fit.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself...
Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them. And now you're back.
Is that really all she knows?
It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything.
I wouldn't do that.
And why?
Do I even need to explain myself? It's a
And what? Is it going to lock?
I don't know.
He doesn't want us to look at it.
But what if he's telling...
He isn't.
I am.
Fuck it.
Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next. What is that supposed to mean? It sounds bad. Is it bad? Yes, it's bad.
Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time.
Fine. As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnetism. Before you can so much as blink, it practically leaps from your hands, snapping around your neck. And, as if your situation weren't bad enough, yes? Are we stuck here now? Yes.
Well, shit.
Huh, so it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife.
What are we supposed to do?
Can't even cut us.
That's horrible.
It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information.
Not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch.
No, that there's something special about this loose chain. It's clearly important.
No. Wait, I guess. Maybe something else will happen. Maybe not. Yep. Nope.
That's rude. You and the princess wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for. But you're waiting for something. You're waiting for anything. This is so boring.
There must be something we can do to get out of here. There must be something we're missing.
But there isn't. Time passes. It passes and passes and passes. And the basement of the cabin remains much the same. It is cold. At least the world is. It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade to do much of anything. But she's not ending anything. Her very existence.
How exactly does
it just?
But
your line of questioning is interrupted by the passage of even more time. And after that, even more time passes again. And let me guess, The cabin remains the same.
If time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work.
I suppose you're correct. Things are changing. The differences are small at first, a bit of weathering here, a bit of erosion there, but then they get larger and larger.
I don't like small talk, remember?
Still rude. You continue to wait in silence, and the cabin continues to change. The decay comes faster now. You can see earth through holes in the stonework, can watch lichen spread along the seams of the walls.
That doesn't make sense. Has our entire concept of time changed? What happened to starving? We should have died by now if the rocks around us are starting to erode.
She hasn't starved.
I guess she hasn't.
Even more silent time passes as you watch roots push themselves through the increasingly porous walls of the basement. Dirt seeps inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid, covering the ground and threatening to swallow you both. Time continues to pass, and pass, and pass, until suddenly there are no walls. And then... And...
I think he's gone.
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us. So this is the outside world. It's cold.
I want to go through that again without touching the chain. It's time to leave.
She's
Memory
gone.
returns.
And is that a... But it feels so bad.
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but...
Okay.
You're withered.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look at all of me is change. This one is determined, but also cautious. One that would rather let the world do not mourn
Patient
her.
heart.
She is exactly where she needs to be. It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse. Nor it does seem small from here, and the more we journey, the smaller each of those steps will be. But the I care about your gifts, but I have no preferences to burden you with, even if I did. We will know.
Alright, I'm ready to go back.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Okay, I want to go through that one again. Bring the prisoner to her.
You're on a path. Believe me.
Too long.
Again, she offers no specific. Don't just tell her that.
Ending the world seems like an awful lot for just one person to do.
I believe her. She doesn't have to know how to destroy the...
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat. That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
She's right about one thing.
Like I said, it's all... So do you trust me? The prisoner, the victim?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. You can't. Don't.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. Well, we can always put...
Her sharp. She isn't such... She is.
Oh? Have you decided...
You know. Have to be. You walk up to the chain, they're large and heavy.
If you don't have the key...
Doubtful.
That would be fine. I can visit...
She speaks with almost... If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd been on... You attempt... Someone else here. You try... Stop.
Oh, I can't go this direction again. Oh, I can't click it. Oh, that's fucked.
Thank you. You swing your arm towards her throat, the blade singing, but she's ready for it. She grabs, you drop the blade. She lets go, and faster than you can react, rears back, and there's a ringing in your ears. You're fairly certain you can feel bone grinding against bone where she fractured your jaw, but your body isn't allowing you to feel much right now. Adrenaline coursing through your system and numbing your nerves. You fall to your knees. You're barely able to bring your trembling arms up. Every blow is as punishing as the first. You feel bone. She places a confident heel on your chest and pushes you down to the ground. And her knee falls to your throat, your windpipe crushed beneath a... Can't just... I'm sorry. Everything goes dark. And you die. You're on a path. You're here. Can we tone down the pest? I'm not being a... You're being annoying.
Oh,
Just
fucking broken
ignore.
again.
I agree. If she's
Okay, so if it's the broken again, this means it's gonna be the goddess.
That's what you want.
I'm not
No
gonna
blade
take the
this
bait.
time. Blade, no blade. It doesn't matter. We need to get down there. She wants... Should we be worried about your... It doesn't matter what that little... Making your way down the spiral staircase, the princess towers over you. The chain is nothing.
The little bird has returned. We see your hands are empty. You've already given up, and more than a little
She's disappointed.
Kneel.
On her command, you fall to the floor.
That's my good little bird. The last time we met, you told me I was destined to end the world. I could feel its fun. The collapse of the old is... It's time for me to see.
Well, that it does. But she's wrong. He's being melodramatic. Well, I'll be damned.
Know the limits of your privilege. There's an empty place at my side for you to fill, if you'll have it. And all you have to do...
Don't be rude. It's not rude to question something.
That's exactly why it.
I can, easily. But that isn't what I want. The story of a terrible and bountiful god unbounded of her own will is no story at all. The destruction in Genesis that's to follow in my wake is the song of you, being so struck by my glory, so overwhelmed by what I am, that you feel you must deliver me into the world. And from your act of utter devotion, submit now, submit later. It makes no difference. This isn't about desire. This is about what I am. Your will was so. All you need to do now is break my.
If this is what you want, then I guess there's not much else for me to
God,
say.
she's so pretty. I love this, like, extra large
You
goddess
can't
form
just
of her.
give in to her, not when the stakes are so high.
There's still something in the way. A greasy. Is that a person?
That's impossible. She's not supposed to.
You're a shriveling little.
No. What?
I don't care. Rise, my little bird.
Without hesitation, you're brought to your feet.
Break my chains.
And how are we supposed to do that? We don't even have a weapon. All you need to do is believe it's been done. There's nothing to be sorry about. Alright, I'm done with this. I'm just gonna go sit in the corner. Let me know if we get our agency back. You poor, wretched little thing. It's easy. Please. Her chains shatter, and the cuff falls from her wrist. She is.
What a good disciple you are. Come, it's time for us to leave. Nothing.
Okay, that was a different ending.
She's gone. And is that a. But it feels so bad. I don't want to look at her. Okay, immersed.
You've unraveled. Is she still really big? She is still really big.
Beyond the endless walls of the long quiet, do you know it will? There is a warmth and sadness in me at the thought of people. Fresh tears on a winter's day. We are real. Nothing. This one is dominance. A figure capable of bending everything. Do not mourn her, for she would not be able to mourn you. No, their thoughts are quiet. I am on the cusp of my awakening. If I did, 1. Whatever you bring me next will be enough, and then gravity will pull the others back to me. These gifts are a conversation, and each one shows me the contours of your heart. The only thing I want to see. You have already chosen to walk along this path, and we both know. I'm sorry. Words are difficult for me. The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here.
Okay. Bring the tower to her.
While I appreciate the mental exercise, nevertheless, let me assure, and before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking, causality doesn't matter here. It's no use arguing semantics unless, of course.
Okay, I think we
You
should
make
go
your way
for...
up the short path
We
to
did the
cabin.
route earlier where we turned her into
You'll
a
find
ghost.
the princess within.
I want to do that again.
We're not going to go through with this,
Will it
right?
let us? Take the
You
blade
take the blade.
into the basement.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down. How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just... Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want. You ignore the trembling in your hand.
You poor thing.
You step forward.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason. So, you should just drop.
She's unarmed.
Then I'm not talking to you. I guess we are.
For the love of... Or drop the blade.
Yeah, I'm sure.
For goodness sake, the two of you can't just stand around like this forever. Eventually, something is going to give, and I highly recommend that you be the one to take the initiative here. The blade
Thank you. Maybe now we can just.
We'll be fine. Don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget.
And yet, you hesitated the moment you saw me. And you dropped your. So, someone put you up to this, right?
That's a fair question. Who chained her in this space? Don't give away the game.
I'm right, aren't I? So, who put you up to this? Do you? You're lying.
How does she know that?
Don't think that just because I'm the one in chains, it means you have a right to interrogate me.
You can't. Oh, you have to be kidding.
That would be fine.
I can't save her, I have to slay her. That's so funny.
Without hesitation, you bring the blade down. The princess flinches as you strike and your weapon sinks into her shoulder.
You bastard. If I
thought we had the upper hand, but it's an act. She's unarmed. I'm not so Don't waver now. As you raise your blade to strike again, she kicks out, knocking the two of you struggle on the ground. You lash out with the blade, slicing wherever you can. Her fists connect with your body again and again, each blow stronger than the last, shattering bone and rupturing tissue with reckless abandon. Forget trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her everything you've got. You roll out of her grasp and shakily push yourself back to your feet. Though every inch of you is in pain, the princess probably has it worse. Blood pours out from... We can still turn this around. You steel your resolve and take another step towards the princess. Excuse me? What was that about not making it out of here alive? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to... Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, the two of you clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's heart.
Oh.
The two of you fall to the floor.
Every time I look at the screen, you're stabbing lady. Yeah, but I'm stabbing her in a different way. That's what's
You
important.
put up more of a fight than I thought you would. Do you really?
But you don't have the time to worry. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path. You're here to slay her. I can assure you that you didn't slay her, and that she didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two of us are meeting for the very first time.
Are we?
If he doesn't remember what happened, you know I can hear you. That's fine. It doesn't matter if he can hear us. The only thing that matters is marching up to that cabin and winning. That's the spirit. A warning, she will lie.
Lying and cheating doesn't sound like her at all. Not that it matters. It's not like she can lie or cheat in the middle of a fight.
Are you sure about it? The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstances the princess will do and say whatever she thinks it will take to get her out.
Crystal.
The cabin is tighter than its exterior would suggest. Its cold stone walls press in on you, as if trying to forcefully direct you towards your destination. The blade is your... You take the blade from the altar. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase, its walls pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend. Her fierce voice...
Is that another challenger?
This isn't what she sounded like last time. Good. As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about as you descend the final
Oh, she's
step.
a little devil
The form
now!
of the princess comes into view. Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall with...
Oh, it's you again. I'd been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either
Oh
of us.
no, she's hot.
And you brought your little knife, too.
Oh, look at that feral little
Yes.
grin. I love her.
I'm going to have
Slay
fun
Queen?
breaking you into little pieces. What is there to unpack? I was dead and now I'm not in the same... Don't you get it? We've been given free rein to wail on each other. Forever.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Alright, fine. What you said earlier in the wood, you don't know that whatever brought the two of you back to life isn't a fluke. And beyond... Of course I'm not okay! As far as we're all concerned, the fate of my world...
You don't know the depths of my apathy.
You're joking, right? Yeah, you better be joking.
You look exactly the same. Oh, I remember you all right.
See? She wants to fight us again.
But I'm not fighting a giant demon lady. Bye.
Oh, you've got another thing coming if you think you can just...
As you step towards the stairs, you hear and then a snap. She's loose. You have to make a decision and you have to make it fast. As the princess barrels towards you, you do your best to maneuver between the tight walls of the basement. You do your best to outplay her, slashing out and leaving red cuts in the tattered remains of her white dress. But you have little room to maneuver.
This weak little dance isn't working. Just toughen up.
She's throwing us around like a rag doll. I think...
Did you think you could stop me with a few cuts? All this dancing around is
The princess's arm shoots forward, her palm wrapping.
how disappointing.
She squeezes, the pressure unbearable as her fingers dig into you. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Oh, we get a third chapter.
You're on a path in the wood. If you weren't so damned afraid of what she'd do to you, we wouldn't have died back there. Fear is good. Fear keeps us alive. We died, but so what? You'd have no. But that place suits her better than it suits us. She's big. We can't hope to find holes and openings down there. Are you suggesting luring her into the woods? Do you have any idea how dangerous that would be? Are you not challenging us on all the looping? Sorry to disappoint what I'm sure must feel like a grand... It doesn't matter. We could go in circles forever. I don't like staying still for too... It's good to know that at least we may have the same destination, but we're not the same. It's evidence of one of many things are always changing. She changed the cabin because they're not supposed to have changed. This is supposed to be a path in... It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up. No last advice for us? From what I gather, you've heard it all before. I don't know. Screaming sounds pretty good right about now. I could use a little catharsis. Catharsis is for when we're finished. For now... The interior of the cabin is suffocatingly tight. More of a glorified tunnel than a building. Its stone walls squeeze against your sides, leaving you no choice. The blade is your... See? We have even less space than before. Take it! You take the blade from the altar. Good. There's no overcoming her without it. We need every part. You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you always see it's a bit grimy. You bring your fist crashing down against the door leading to the basement. It swings open, scraping against the floor. Before you is what may as well be a sheer cliff face. There are enough footholds that you'll be able to clamber your way to the bottom, but the air hissing up from below is warm and wet, like the breath of an enemy locked in close quarters. Her voice, bold and...
Do you have more fight in you than last time? That was...
Goad her, rile her up.
But that wouldn't be fun. I don't want to be a monster chasing you down.
We need to get closer. You've nowhere to go but down. You start the difficult journey, gripping the stone, lowering yourself foot by grueling foot. Remember every crack and crevice. We'll need to be faster than her. You turn to face what lies at the end of the narrow tunnel. The princess, imposing, and her face widens.
There you are, knife in hand. How thrilling.
We can't get that close. She'll kill us in the tight space, steel claw or not. Make her come to us. I really don't like this. It's the only way we live.
Well, what are you waiting for? If we're gonna do this, so go on. Make the first move. Don't keep me waiting.
The princess scoffs.
Oh, you're up to something. You're teasing me with what I want. I'm not going to let you give me another bad fight.
Bloody desire in her eyes, the princess rushes forward, ignoring her chains as they bend and snap. Run. Without hesitation, you turn back the way you came and scramble up the ledge towards the tunnel entrance. As you near the top, hands desperately clawing at jagged stone, you glance back. The princess is right on your heels. She doesn't bother to scale the wall as you do, instead digging deep into the rock of the cliff face with her fingertips in her rabid pursuit.
Anywhere you go, I will follow.
Good. You reach the ledge and hoist yourself up into the tunnel.
What is all of this for? What's the point? You and I are always going to end in violence, so why bother to run? I know what I am. Why can't you be the same? Little bird, where do you think you're going?
We're almost there. Don't think about almost. We're there when we're there. And we'll take the fight. Your skin hums tight with adrenaline as you burst through the cabin door and roll onto the grass. You glance back at the cabin as the princess, singular in her desire to destroy you, explodes through the doorway. You are walking a dangerous path. If you waver once, it's all over. So get it right.
There's nothing left to slow me down. Do you think this is better for you? Do you think this space gives you an edge? Then show me. Show me that you've been worth all the room you've taken up in my head.
Do it. Be swift, strike true, be where she's not. You leap from the grass and bound towards the princess, keeping low.
Charging me head on. Brave and foolish.
Her body braces for impact, anticipating the clash. That's where you're both wrong. Left, now. As the princess strikes, your body swerves to the left. She overextends, stumbling as her balance shifts unexpectedly. Strike. Before you can finish the thought, you lash out, the blade slicing through her leg. She turns to swing again. Right. You move out of the way, but this time it's not quite as clean. You can feel a bruise already blooming where her elbow crashed into flesh. It's nothing. A scratch. Yes, it could be worse. And you managed to gift her another cut in return. I'll be damned. We're actually gonna pull this off, aren't we?
Don't get cocky.
You just might. But don't let it get to your head.
Yes, finally! This is the hole I felt in my heart. This is what I've needed. This is what I've been missing. This is how it always needed to end. Both of us giving it our all, beating and bleeding each other to death.
Slay the princess.
The two of you engage in a devastating flurry of blows, each of you wounding the other again and again. She's stronger, but you're faster, and the deeper the both of you fall into your lethal dance, the more your edge shines over hers. She's slowing down, blood pouring from wounds, splattering at her feet, leaving her weak and unsteady. More! Keep going! We can't stop now! You spy an opening, but this time she's waiting for you. She lets you sink the blade deep, trapping you in place long enough to wrap you in her impenetrable arms. You're slammed to the ground. Nothing! These blows are nothing to us!
What the fuck is this? This is Slay the Princess.
But her
Literally,
gambit
so
wasn't enough to
every
close the gap.
time
It wasn't
you
enough
play
to
through a
kill you.
loop,
She
you can
stares
do it
you
again
down,
and again and again, and
coughing
every
up a
time
splash
it's
of blood
slightly
as she
more
gasps
different and
for
slightly
breath.
more fucked up.
You've outplayed me, haven't you? Something feels wrong. Something.
And? Then
So
what
in this
happens?
loop, we fought her to the death. So now in this loop, she turned into a demon fighter lady. And now she gets stolen by the hands. And this is actually the last vessel that the hands needed. So we're actually at the end of the game here. A wide open field through a halting foe to an advantageous terrain and toward...
She's gone. And there's that mirror. But it feels so bad. Look at that thing reeks of death. Screw the mirror. Okay, I'd like... Maybe there'll be a good fight there. Maybe we'll find her again.
Alright, let's see how fucked up I am this time. You are nothing at all. Isn't right? You can't be nothing. You focus your gaze and you see a figure, faint and veiled in shadow just beyond the reflection.
I think you know what I
crack slides down the center of the mirror, splitting the image in the glass in two. Another crack forms, and another, turning the mirror into jagged shards of broken glass.
The narrator. Yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all. An objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far. It doesn't hurt. I'm aware, and if I were you, I'd be... I'm an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one they may have, I'm sure you've met any others like me. She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can. So I tucked a part of myself into the folds of this construct to guide you. This isn't the end just yet. You can still destroy her and save everyone.
There's too many questions to ask.
As you are now, you won't be able to will her into anything. And as you were before, you couldn't be trusted with the knowledge of what she is. With some amount of difficulty, but you're an abstract concept yourself. It would have been preferable if you had destroyed her within the confines of the construct, but when I shaped the two of you... I killed myself. It had to be done, really. None of this would have worked if I was... Because among other things, she is death itself. To rid the world of suffering, to save untold trillions from being lost forever to the cosmic wind, she must be destroyed. When I broke the cycle, I made sure that the tear was rough. You carry a part of what should be her, and she carries a part of what should be you. Things won't be as they are now, but they won't be nothing either. Besides, anything is better than oblivion. In the end, nobody wants to leave. I've said my piece, and my time is up.
Goodbye,
It's
narrator.
like I said, I'm just an echo. And echoes always fade away. You know what you have to do.
See yourself with a newfound clarity. You are the long quiet, the fast and nascent god. It is finally time for you to wake up. All of this is you. What was that? An achievement I just got. The long quiet, all of this is you. Proceed to the cabin one last time. Burning heart, bring the eye of the needle to her. Gotcha. Why didn't read what it said when you arrived? None of us came through this, so there's nothing for you to find. Hello, princess.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly. Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind. Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am. Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation? Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not, of beginning and end, pitch black islands in the blinding light of the infinite. There is nothing to resolve, nothing restraining us but us. If you're saying that, it's because you don't yet understand. But we cannot use words alone to grasp at things that words cannot express. And you cannot rationalize with logic that which defies it. Violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it.
I crush you. I bleed you. I grind you to paste. My scars are a memory of what you used to be to me. I want those feelings back. You run, but you do not run away. You take me somewhere new, somewhere we can dance like we used to. But I could not follow your steps. There was no better gift for me than the gift of defeat. You showed me how much more I could be. We made each other better. To have no challenges to fade into nothing. A life without obstacles is no life at all. is to remain the same? What meaning can be taken from a single moment frozen in time?
All conflict is violence. But to remove conflict itself is to remove the textures that define us. You are nothing.
A black hole of self-loathing fed by the matter of your restless thoughts. A dog blind to its leash. But there is no light without the dark. When I proclaimed my godhood and offered you a place at my side, you gladly became the instrument of my new creation. Only with both of us is there a future to look towards. It is hope that carves meaning into being.
And through your lack of one, you too were consumed. Yet together, we were able to create something beautiful.
To question everything is to deny the truth in front of you. By believing in your suffering, you make your suffering real. By believing in your limitations, you placed a shackle on your neck. Bound for eternity, we saw the need for impermanence, and it was through that need that you carved our freedom. Without impermanence, the suffering of living things is infinite. Would you strip my gifts away and leave everyone to suffer in the dark?
It would. Our purpose is to be and to experience, and their purpose is the same. To be permanent is to cease. To be paused is to be trapped.
Your little red head's a stake into your body, and another, and another, and another. Do I miss your heart because I can't stand to see it go? But the stakes meant nothing to you. You had a desire, and you set that desire free. You lifting me and me lifting you, forever and ever and ever. Consumed by true belief, there was nothing that could hold us back. Then there's no need for you to fight what we are. Whenever you're ready, we can move together, hand in loving hand. If you need more time to open your eyes, then I will give you all the time in the world. A shiver passes through you as unseen fingers dance across your skin. They remember the violence you inflicted on them, and yet they don't return it. I offer you absolution, and you take my hand in yours. You felt the pain you caused another, and you were willing to sacrifice everything you thought was used to set you free. Without sin, there is no redemption. And yet there is nothing left for you to sacrifice, so long as you accept me with open arms.
As the clash between you abates, you begin to shake, your will rapidly dissolving.
Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together. What I offer you is not perspective. It is truth.
Whatever you're trying to do right now, you don't have to do it.
Hero! Hero, you came back for me! You have no idea how good it is
It's
to
good
hear
be
you.
here. She's too many things all at once out here. If you want to get through to her, you need some way to get through all of that divine confidence. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to her heart.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready?
I'm ready, Hero.
Then let's go. And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all started, but I guess it's a little after that, isn't it? Do you need me to describe things?
It's just us. I think the rest of them are still out there, jumbled up in the rest of her.
Oh yeah, she's out the windows.
Yeah, it's dead silent in here. Whatever it was that was left of him, I don't think it could handle you waking up to godhood. Pretty sure he got obliterated. Yeah, it's complicated. He put us through hell, but he's been part of us since the very beginning, hasn't he?
Could you describe the cabin to me, for old time's sake?
Yeah, of course. The interior of the cabin is, well, it's a cabin, yeah? There isn't much here, just a table and a knife and a door. And some windows. There's no mirror, either. I think you broke it. And I know you're still trying to find some middle ground, but if things go south, we're going to need that blade. That's probably for the best. It's always seemed to give us more options than not. The stairs. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice?
Have you figured out what you want to do yet, or are you going to keep trying to find a center that doesn't exist?
It sounded just like that. A little sharp, a little menacing. Only she didn't know us. And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
And there you are, knife in hand. It really brings me back. Have you given up on talking? Have you finally decided to kill me? You'll have all of eternity to yourself after this. Why don't we chat a little before I go? No. I feel like I'm myself again. Well, I don't want to be at the end of that knife, so how about we figure something out? What if we tried doing this forever? I can do whatever you think I can, right? So, make me put it all back. Make me fix the Echo's construct and make me wipe our memories of everything that's happened. Make me send us back to the beginning, before we woke up. Before either of us saw the truth.
Can she really do that? Are you sure that's what you want?
don't think that's something we'll ever get to know. But odds are we've probably done it before. That's sweet. But unless you do, the whole world ends, right? Not like I care, but it seems important to you. And if we do, nothing is stopping us from making the same choice. We could just keep doing this forever. Who cares? We've hurt each other plenty, and I still like you. And if you're hesitating, then you must still like me, too. Well, if we change our minds, we change our minds. What matters is that we'll always have a choice. This is just the one we're making now. Fixing that is on you, not me. If you want me to help them, you'll have to make me help them. You brought that knife down here for a reason. Either you use it to kill me, or I use it to put things back.
I don't want to be alone again.
Neither do I. But we won't be alone for long. I'll be right here, waiting for you. Yeah, I think it's too late for that. But maybe next time.
Fuck. I believe in us.
Okay, if this is your choice, then I have your back. I guess I'll see you on the other side. She takes the blade from our hand, a fondness in her gaze.
Hey, I love you.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the you're here to slay her.
Holy fuck. Holy fuck? This was a love story. They weren't fucking kidding. Jesus fuck. You know, I always hear everyone talk about, like, you ever play a game that, like, changes your entire brain chemistry and, like, how you see the world? And, like, a lot of people experienced those games when they were, like, 10 or 12. Holy fuck. I have to see all of it. Here's the track order for a special playlist just for you. Discord mailing list subreddit for tournament menu. That's interesting. The hero and the princess. I can see all the. Yeah. Yeah, I got this one, but I wasn't able to finish it because game crashed. But the game acknowledges that I've seen it. There's so many different like things you can do here. Crazy. Oh yeah, we see the final memory yet. Tower. The Spectre. Means of violence, fake from hesitation, yep. And then the prisoner. I haven't seen this. Why is it showing me this one? I haven't done this. That's a little bit of a bug. And then the damsel. Unquestioning commitment. That's crazy. There's literally so much to this. Oh yeah, you start to wither away. That's so interesting. Like, yeah, you start, then you get bloated, then you start to wither away to nothing. That's crazy. I don't get to see like the different versions of her stabbing me. That's crazy though. Holy fuck, that was insane, chat. That was insane. I don't know if anyone's still here witnessing the dilemma I'm going through right now. Because a lot of you have piddled out. Jesus Christ. Anyways, yeah, wow, that was game. That definitely do be one of the games of all time. Christ. I'm gonna be playing more of this.